What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome into the Bulls Report. My name is Patrick Siepman. Coming up on today's show, we were getting reports that the Bulls are interested in trading up for Matas Buzelis, so we'll talk about him. And then Zach Edey is apparently on the Chicago Bulls radar at pick 11. We'll dive into that on the second half of today's show. But let's kick it off talking about Buzelis. So this was coming in from Jonathan Gavoni, who works for ESPN, and he said the Bulls are looking to trade up for the hometown kid. He said sources say Buzelis' hometown team, the Chicago Bulls, watched him work out privately in Los Angeles early in the pre-draft process. Chicago has shown a willingness to explore moving up in the draft for the right price. The Bulls' Lithuanian president, Arturas Karnisovas, has extensive knowledge of Buzelis, who is also Lithuanian. Now, the Bulls are in an interesting spot here because you're not going to be able to get Buzelis, sticking at pick 11. So you're going to probably, in my opinion, if you want to guarantee yourself to get the hometown kid, Buzelis, you're going to have to trade into the top 5. And I don't anticipate the Bulls trading up to either picks 1 or picks 2. But I think, honestly, the 3rd overall pick, the 4th overall pick, and the 5th overall pick are going to be all on the table in this year's draft. I could see the Houston Rockets being incredibly interested in a guy like Alex Caruso, a winning piece to help kind of sandpaper the rest of the young guys on that roster. And then the Spurs. They have been my dark horse team for Zach Edey this whole offseason, and for a number of reasons. I think they're going to take advantage of this Victor Wembanyama rookie contract in a very similar fashion that NBA teams or NFL teams take advantage of a rookie quarterback contract. So even though Levine's got a bad deal, I could see the Spurs kind of saying like, hey, we just need an elite 3-level guard. We don't care what he's making. We want to go try the win right now. And then also the Detroit Pistons. I'm not sure if they would be interested in Caruso or Zach Edey, but I could see them trading out of that spot. So, either 3 of these teams I could see the Bulls trading up with, and you would be going and getting the hometown kid, Matas Buzelis, as he had a pretty good year for the G League Ignite this past season. One thing I do want to make note, the 3-point shooting, he did only shoot 27.3% last year, but in his last year of high school basketball, he did shoot above 40%. So, and he's got a good-looking jumper, but we'll dive more into that here in a second. But average 14 points a game, 6.9 rebounds, 2.1 blocks a night, and then also 44.5% from the field overall. And just his measurables, he is coming in at 6'9". He's got a super slim frame. He only weighs 197 pounds at 6'9", but he's got a 6'10" wingspan, and then his max vertical leap at the combine was 38 inches. So he is a very, very good athlete on that standpoint. But my pro comp for him is actually Franz Wagner. I think when you just watch these guys side by side and you watch the way they play, it is actually incredible how similar they are. And, I'm not the biggest fan of, pro comparisons. I just think it just puts in I just think it's put too much expectation on the rookie, coming out to, be like this guy. But, I just think their games are very similar. The way they move on the basketball floor, very similar fashion. And they both, play at their own pace. And that's what I love about Wagner. And that's what I think Buzelis could, also, carry over to the NBA. But a big pro for him is his athleticism. This dude is a freak athlete. And coming in at 6'9", he's got that long wingspan, but he has shown an ability to put dudes on a poster. I mean, this is a sweet clip of him. He was driving right on the right wing, and he just went 1-2, threw it down with a one-handed tomahawk, and just showing off his athletic ability. Also had a 38-inch max vertical leap at the combine. So I think this is going to be something that's obviously going to translate to the next level. But he's going to have to work on his frame, and that's probably my biggest con for him. I'm not in love with his ball handling, and I could put that as his biggest con. But if there was going to be a reason he doesn't work out in the NBA, it's going to be because he can't handle the physicality, and that is due to his frame. But also, when I'm just looking at his frame, he's kind of built like where he's got the Victor Wembanyama, like really broad shoulders, and you can just tell like by how his body like looks right here, he's going to be able to put muscle on this frame very easily. It's just going to come down to, a want for him. But, just playing at the physicality of the NFL, I could definitely see that being an issue for him. But I kind of mentioned this before, another pro for him. He plays at his own pace. And, I think when you're watching these G League Ignite prospects, it is such a AAU brand of basketball where it's up and down the floor. And, these guys are just, not really making enough, or not necessarily making the winning play. They're making the play that makes them look the best. At least that's just what my eyes tell me when I'm watching these G League games. But he is always playing at his own pace. He never seems sped up. Even if the flow of the game is just really up and down, he can slow it down, play at his own style, and then create the best shot for him, which is something I absolutely love. And I think that's actually something that's going to be able to translate very, very easily. But, we kind of talked about this earlier. His three-point shooting this past season was down. I mean, only shooting 27% from deep. But the thing I love about him the most, and just overall as a prospect, is when you look at his slim frame and you look at his three-point shooting, you can build off these. And here's a picture of his jump shot right here. I love it. He's got a super high release point, and especially with his 6'9" frame, he's going to be able to get the shot off very easily at the next level. And, when I'm watching his jumper, and he's got like a really smooth up and down motion to his look. So I just think it's going to be a repetition thing. It is not like he was, Lonzo Ball, for example, where he's got a janky jump shot and he's got to fix his form. He already has great form. He's got a great base. He's got a great release point. It's just going to come down to reps for him. And, he seems like a hard worker. So I think he'll be able to shore that up, no doubt about it. But you guys let me know. Honestly, I would probably put Buzelis as my dream draft target for the Bulls. Him or Donovan Clingan, not really too sure just yet. But you guys let me know. Who is your dream Bulls draft target? Let me know down in the comments section. All right, let's kick it to Zach Edey to round out today's show as, apparently the Bulls are a team that could be selected in the Purdue Center, as Jonathan Gavoni of ESPN wrote this up, saying teams say Edey's range appears to be in the number 9 through 19 range based on the workouts he has conducted and scheduled. He was with the Toronto Raptors this past week, will visit the Los Angeles Lakers, and is in on the conversation at Memphis at pick 9, Utah pick 10, Chicago pick 11, Oklahoma City pick 12, Portland pick 15, and Miami pick 15. So the Bulls are going to be interested in the Purdue Center, and I would say he is the most polarizing and controversial prospect that we have in this year's draft. Like, some people are like, oh, you can't let Zach Edey fall at the top 10. And then some people are saying, I wouldn't draft the guy at all. But, I mean, this past season for Purdue, he was fantastic. I mean, 25 points a night, one player of the year, shot very, very efficient from the field, of course, at 62.3%. Can actually shoot from the free throw line very, very well. And there was a video of him at the combine shooting the three ball. I'll tell you what, the three-point shot actually looks pretty good, funny enough. So Zach Edey to me is an interesting prospect. And if you look at his measurables, like, this is just ridiculous to think about. And I think, maybe Wemby has kind of, I don't want to say like discredited the hype that we have around Edey, but the dude's got almost a 7'11" wingspan, and he's almost 7'4" without shoes, and he has a 9'7" or a 9 feet 7 inch standing reach, coming in at 300 pounds. Like, this dude is a freak of nature. But it gets me to this: I don't think the Bulls can take him at pick 11. I just think with, let's just say this: if the Bulls were in the Oklahoma City Thunder position and we were and they were just at pick 11, we were at pick 12, I would say the Thunder can draft him because they are in a more win now position. And I think the Bulls are just at a spot where it's like, you got to get almost like a draft and stash guy. That's why I'm not in on a guy like Dalton Connect, or I'm not in on a De Silva, who we talked about, these older prospects who are more ready to win now pieces. That doesn't fit the Bulls' timeline. They need to go a different direction. They need to get a guy like Cody Williams. They need to get a guy like Buzelis, who we talked about on today's show, a guy they can truly develop, and hopefully he turns out to be a good player in the league instead of getting a guy that can impact them now. But I will say, this would be such a Bulls move. Like, I could really see it on draft night, them taking Zach Edey at pick 11, and, it would not shock me one bit. But, it would just be very Bulls of the Bulls to draft Zach Edey. But you guys let me know. Maybe you guys disagree with me. Maybe you think we should draft Zach Edey. Give me a Y for yes or an N for no down in the comments section. I wish the Bulls were in a position to draft him. I just don't think it's a smart move for where their organization is at right now. But if we get any more updates around the NBA draft, we'll have a video for you guys ASAP. So hit that subscribe button, lock us in, and as always, go Bulls.